and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll be exploring encapsulation and access modifiers in Java. So let's get started. Let's open VS Code and let's open our file which I had created in our earlier video of oops.java. Now, till now we had created a class called car, and then in our previous video we discussed how to um, instead of writing 5 lines of code, how to write it in a single line of code for one card. And then we use constructors and this keyword, and then we have printed the values of our card, which means the details. But if we check, if I try to modify a value in my card, such as I'm trying to modify my engine. Suppose if I write my car dot engine, and then if I write is equal to, and then if I give another value such as EFGHI 8897 like this, a random value, and if I put a semicolon, and if I print the value, as you can see, it prints the updated value. But this shouldn't be the case, because if someone tries to modify the sensitive details like brand, like from Toyota to Nissan, and the engine number, this should not happen, but this is happening. Anyone who has access to the code should not um, modify these sensitive details, or who have access to other classes should not modify the details of this class. So how do we restrict access, like who can see what? There comes access modifiers. So we use access modifiers in Java to control who can see what information. So if I'm telling that people from other classes should not be able to see the values such let's say brand and color, and then I want to make it private, I will write over here, I'll write private string brand and then private string color, like that. For any attribute which I want others to not see, other people of other classes to not see, I'll make it private. And now if I save and run the code, as you can see now, it shows engine has private access in car. That means I cannot modify engine. So that's a great news that I cannot modify engine. So the person who has access to the class can only modify the engine. But if you closely check, there is another error. Brand has private access, color has private access. I'm not able to print the details of my car. So what I wanted is that a person from another class should not be able to modify details, but they should be able to view the details. I had only planned to restrict the modification access, but this Java compiler is not letting anyone see the details which I have printed. So in order to solve this issue, we use encapsulation. Now we use encapsulation in Java to control who can do what. We use access modifiers to control who can see what, and we have already controlled that people from another classes cannot see these attributes. We use encapsulation to control who can do what. So what should I write? Anyone who has access to even other class also should be able to see the value, which I have printed. So for that, here, after the construction and inside the class itself, I'll create encapsulation. So for that, I have to first specifically specify that public. Now I'm writing public to specify that anyone can view. And then I need to put the data type. Since the first attribute is a string data type, I'll write string. Then I want users to see the value, not to change it, but to see the value. So in order to see a specific value, I have to get and then the name of the attribute. Now the name of the attribute is brand. So I've said B in capital brand and then open parentheses and then I will open curly brackets. Now inside curly brackets, I should write return brand. Now this brand should be in small letters because this is our normal brand. So what this means is that anyone who has access to this class or from any other class should be able to see the details of the brand which I had printed. That's why I'm specifically mentioning public. This is not private, it's public, it's open to all. Now, similarly, I have to do this for every other attribute which I made private. The public string get color and then return color like that. For int, I've read public int, then I've read get here, and so on for every attribute which I made private. Now I have made and I have controlled who can do what. Now if I save and run my code, it will again throw error. Now why is it again throwing error? First of all, it's showing that engine has private access. So I'll just remove this code because this is the concept of access modifiers. It's not allowing me to modify. But if I again run my code, still it's showing the same error that brand has private access. You can't view this. But now I had already mentioned that this is public. This is public. I've already used the concept of encapsulation. Then why is it still printing the same error message? It's because I specified brand. Now this brand is already made private. Now instead of brand, I have to put the name which I had given in encapsulation, which is get brand, get color, and so on. So instead of brand, I'll replace it with get brand, and then I put parentheses, and then instead of get color, I'll put get color and parentheses, and like that for every value. Now if I save and run my code, as you can see, now it prints the details. And now let me try to edit to modify the value and let's see if it accepts or not. So I'll write my car dot, let's say color is equal to white. As you can see, it throws the error. So if I just remove this line and now if I rerun, it will normally print all the values. As you can see, it prints all the values. So now we have learned how to control who can do what and who can see what. Now actually for this get here, we can also put one more condition, which is that anyone who adds the values, that means the value over here, the year which the car was purchased should not be lesser than 1886 and should not be greater than 2026. Now, why should we put that value? We are putting that condition because cars were first introduced in the year 1886. So, no car can be purchased before 1886. And since the current year is 2026, no one can purchase a car now in putting the year as 2028 or 2030. So, for that, in order to restrict adding um, values which have errors, we can directly control it by using the condition statement that if the value of year is lesser than 1886 and greater than 2026, then show the error that kindly enter valid year, like that, which we'll learn how to control or how to add the conditional statement in the next video. So that's a wrap for this video. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe and like. Thanks for watching.